Hey, how's it going? Um, so welcome back to the stream. I'm still working on skylounge.social. I mean, I think that's going to be my project for probably the next couple of weeks at least. My hope is that I get the initial version of it out basically by the kind of end of the month, just to have some early people testing it and playing around with it. So so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just also just setting up a few things, some little housekeeping stuff while I'm getting started. So yeah, last night I basically started diving into the actual UI of the app, and we'll cover that. I also realized that if you happen to watch that stream from last night, I I'm still, I guess, a noob when it comes to Ecamm and its settings. I kept setting um, the screen to my cursor and like a specific window, but it kept resetting to the wrong window. So there was a big portion of my stream yesterday that had the wrong code on it. So apologies if anyone took the time to watch that and just was watching me basically like edit behind another window. So you weren't actually seeing the code changes. But yeah, I'm going to be digging into the skylounge.social. So essentially it's going to be the kind of like X or Twitter alternate or Spaces alternative targeted at Bluesky, and then also kind of like web first, and hopefully I'll be able to have all the typical web standardy stuff to where it's like open web. I would like to try to play around with actually having some of the elements of it be proper like AT proto lexicons and adhering to that. But at the same time, I'm just going to get the basic system up and running, and I figure I can always restructure the API endpoints and other things and get a little bit more familiar with what it takes to actually get something to, be a proper AT proto like contributor or app. So let's just I guess let's start diving in. I'll hopefully everything will be looking good here. But let me zoom up that code real quick too. Oh, too big. So right now the web server is running, and oh yeah, also if I'll post it over here, but if let me refresh that. Let's see if that's going to work. Yeah, so I have my little play stream thing going on here. So I have a Spotify jam going where you can kind of listen to the tunes that I'm jamming as well. Right now I'm just listening to this Fugazi live album that they just threw up on Spotify. But so yeah, so this is a code that we were kind of working on last night. Oh, that's maybe a little too big. Basically, I want to get the structure of the page. So yeah, I'll take you over to the website real quick, so you know what I'm talking about. But so this is kind of what I threw together last night. This is kind of, I think, an example of what the rooms page might look like. And then also just did like this real quick grid of some, what the rooms might feel like. This is more wireframey than like final designs, but I'm just trying to get a feel for what I need to account for within the database schema. And then, yeah, you're going to see some weird random rendering things. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll figure it out before this thing goes live. But so this is what I was kind of thinking, you have some room. I think I'm going to probably end up having some sort of image that you can also set up for a room. And I think also rooms might end up kind of having like two different states, like an active session, and then also like if it's not if like the room isn't active, maybe it shows like a list of like previous sessions. So I think that's like something that might be a little bit different than some of the other audio things. I don't know how many of them actually have like rooms of stuff going on. Let me just grab this real quick and blast it out too. Hey, how's it going, Brad? I'm just gonna post this up. I didn't send it. Cool. So but yeah, so this is kind of Skylounge in its very rough working form. The thing I was thinking about working on today was actually I am authenticated, and so maybe setting up the forums to where I can actually create these rooms and get those being fed into the database, as well as the whole kind of like session trade-off stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. There's actually a package that I'm going to end up publishing that I'm going to use on both starter packs and Skylounge that I use when I'm working against like the Bluesky API. So that'll be something that'll be, public for everyone. And yeah, but for now, might as well start working on some code here. So what's going on? What's preview mode? What the heck? Ecam, what are you doing? That's browser, there's code, but why is it in preview? Oh, back to live mode. Okay, I don't know what's going on. All right, so back to code. All right, so on that rooms page, I'm just going to add like a quick button and then some sort of kind of create room modal. So over here, I'll just make this. So we have our the project's actually it's an NX workspace and have a few different things going on here. So I have actually, it looks like a lot of stuff that needs to be published. I'm not sure. Or needs to be pushed up to GitHub or something. But basically, we have the two apps. We have the site, and then we have the API. The site is just a Next app, and then the API is a Nest app. And then I have these libraries down here. So I have all these Skylounge stuff, like a client, the React kind of composing of stuff. And then this one is going to be strictly just for the site, and maybe also could be used by like another spin-off app. Then that's why I'm kind of creating all these stuff right here. And then eventually I probably will start migrating some of these components that are actually just living up in the Next app to this UI directory in the event that it's something that I would use across multiple clients or something. In the event, this is also like in the event that that like I might have like maybe something like subdomained at like app.skylounge.social or something. But we'll see. We're not quite there yet. So yeah, just gonna start creating this create room modal, which is actually going to be a modal, not a drawer. So is open. Unclose. We'll have the overlay. Start adding all that stuff in. We need the use disclosure. Okay. We'll have the modal body. Actually, I think this close button is supposed to live up in the header. And then we'll have the modal footer. Then we'll have the form that kind of wraps all this stuff. We'll set up our use callbacks and stuff. So yeah, so basically this is going to be this, and let's pull up the newsletter forms. Yeah, we'll set up our like yep resolver and all that kind of stuff. So the object that we're going to do for the room, based on the schema that I kind of have roughed out, that probably is going to get some refinement, but the room's pretty straightforward. It's just going to have a name, description. I'm not sure what the privacy is actually going to be, so actually maybe we'll make that optional. It will have a slug, and then it will be, you know, part of a host. Actually, thinking about this now, though, I'm going to actually update that to where it references. Might act as reference an account. Now that I'm thinking about it. And then accounts would have rooms, maybe. Then we could remove that from user. Yeah, and this is actually be account ID. And then we'll have to add a room guest to account. Oh, it already did that. So yeah, I might have to just reset the database a little bit, but I think that makes sense. And then I can also just make this optional for now until I actually figure out what I want to have for privacy on rooms. But the slug is good. The host ID is good. Let's make sure from my account I can get to. Yeah, I have like the DID. I have the actor it's associated with. Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, Brad, what are you working on? Feel free to share whatever project you got going on. So yeah. So yeah. And for now, we're not going to need that privacy. We're just going to need name description. And then we'll set up our use form stuff. So yeah. Wrap that. And then yeah, that has the wrong. That's just going to get like basically a data thing, and we don't need to worry about preventing the default on that. And for now, we'll just log it. Let's make sure we're getting what we want. Oh, I actually need to build out the form. So that'll be a text area. I guess down the line, it probably needs to be like a more richer text entry thing, but for now, this will work. Then add button. So yeah, let's post this up over on Twitter too. So yeah, so start setting this up. I mean, that could just be it. We have to add this to the rooms page. Clean up some of this stuff, but I guess we need to export this too. So we'll create room modal. Yeah, up here in the heading, we'll just flex this thing out real quick. And then actually for the props in this one, probably just want to show. And then I guess we have a use effect that triggers the on open. Not is open, on open. Sorry. So yeah, so that'll trigger that, show it, hide it. This is going to be is centered. We'll add the create room modal, guess down here. So one of those things that I'll probably end up refactoring to be like a dynamic component based off of like if the user's logged in or whatever. I guess technically this should be optional. Oops. What's going on here? It's delete my shit. We'll set up our state. And then the button to show it. There'll probably be an icon button at some point, but this might be kind of. There we go. Oh, we need the button. All right, thanks for the cheap viewer notice. Good to know. Good to know. All right, cool. So then we'll add this to the modal down here. And then actually on close, we probably would want to handle room close and then set that to false. So that way the state is remaining in state. And then this will be the on close prop. Although I think we can make that optional and then conditionally call it, I guess. Kind of prefer to have all this stuff down here, the handlers and everything together. I definitely need to, I guess we need to have the slug too, right? Which we could make like a slug will be required. Okay. So yeah, so setting this up, we go over here to the site. So we should have that. Oh, we need to add labels and all that other good stuff. At least we got something showing, and that's working. So yeah, let's add some labels and stuff. Form control. Form labels. I'm actually probably going to wrap all this in a flex. Just to space everything out a bit. Get that flex in there. Okay, let's see how that's looking. That's a little better. Okay, now next step is really just making sure that we're getting the make sure we're getting the data on the submit. So that's good. So we're good there. Now I just need to, I guess I'm going to set up some of the API stuff. That'll be snagging all this stuff. So I've been storing all of the Nest stuff actually out in the library. So it's all lives under this Nest directory. And essentially they're all basically like API-auth, API-Bluesky. That's like the package names, but then they're just like auth controller, Bluesky controller, connect, and like the Prisma service and stuff. So I use a generator to get this up and running. Let's see. So it's the directory is going to be lib/nest/rooms. And then import path lounge int /API-rooms. And then we want to have the controller and a service. We'll lint it and we'll adjust it, I guess. So assuming that worked right, we should have our rooms controller, our rooms module, and then the rooms service. So we really just need to start throwing in like a little post to create a room. And then for now, yeah, I guess we could create the DTO. Actually, for now, we'll just go. We'll just get it roughed in. Then we'll open up the service over here. Rooms.service. Yeah, create room. And the Prisma service is, yeah. Actually, no, it's API Prisma. Okay. So I think we should be good there. The only thing we actually need to do is we're going to want to know like the user and stuff that this room is created on behalf of. And I'm trying to remember if I have that set up in the auth stuff yet or not. So yeah, we don't want the current user. And then also the current account to make sure that the Skylounge account is being configured in the client in the headers. Let's see. So basically we want the current user. Not sure why it made two different things there. Pointed at a non-existent package. That's where cursor kind of gets a little bit flubbed up. So yeah, I probably want to pass the account and then the body, and actually might be nicer to actually have these as something like that. And then we'll update this to destructure it, but the account, the body, and then actually should have just data, and then that's just the body. Obviously the type doesn't need to be there, but we're going to have the account and the data. And then as far as this data, it'll be the data and then the account ID. So got that. I might have to re-kick the API just in case. Sometimes when I also need to add the module to the app module. So we're gonna have the rooms controller, the rooms module, and the rooms service. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that. They're all coming from the same spot. Although I probably need to actually update those, the index to map to those. Actually, I might actually do it already. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. All right, so that's in the app module now. Might be good. Yeah, but what other, anyone jamming on anything fun? I'm just building the Sky Lounge over here. Looks like we got some people on Twitter. What's up? Feel free to drop some stuff in the chat if you wanna jam it out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change up the tunes a little bit. I was listening to these last two, like these live albums last night. Just gonna go to this playlist for now. Has a little more variation on it. But yeah, so we'll get the services back up and running. And if everything worked out right, Prisma service, room service. That's right. I need to room module. I need to pull the Prisma service in here, I think. Let's organize that a little bit. There we go. And then I guess, should I start writing a bunch of hooks in the Skylounge React package, maybe? might be good. Because we already have use Sky Lounge. We do like use room with mutations and stuff. Maybe also with like a create room thing. For now, let's get it working and then we'll make it right. So we're going to use mutation. Then we'll have our create room. Technically, that's going to use, oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. We don't need to have this open. Let me clean this up a little bit. Yeah, I was like drilling into some of the reasons why I like Chakra UI last night, and I totally had the wrong cursor window focused for whatever reason, just because Ecamm decided to swap it, which kind of sucked. But yeah, so that was fun. Realized it way too late. All right, so we have our client there. Essentially, it's just going to be client.post to rooms and then a data. And although that's going to, no, this is going to happen in the, what am I doing? It's not going to happen here. It's going to happen in the create room modal. So we're going to need to get the client from the use Sky Lounge. Oops. That's better. So I don't know why I'm like, I feel like maybe from staying up late last night, I'm a little bit scattered today. It's all good. I don't think we're going to need the is loading. But basically, we'll need the create room. Initially, let me go to that Sky Lounge provider. So yeah, I think it is. Set up to handle all the account stuff. I mean, I don't have an account changer in the app yet. Actually, I don't even have, I just have the name being rendered. But that was another thing that was added last night. It was just confirmation that the Bluesky Oauth stuff was all wired up right in this new project after I spent a lot of time fumbling with the latest version of NX and then eventually regressing to an older version that, I don't know, just seems to play better. So yeah, so I'm going to call create room. And actually we should probably do a toast. So And then we'll get that from Chakra. And then, yeah, you read my mind. And we'll see if we can error. Oh, that's right. This is going to fire on success, right? That's what happens in the mutation. Mutate function on success. And then it would call on close pop-up and on close. And then on error, we'd have that. So we don't need the toast in our dependencies. All right, now what could go wrong? Well, you know what? I know what could go wrong. We don't have that. We don't have privacy in there yet, so I'm just going to add it in there for now. And they'll just default to public. I think that's the only thing that I was thinking about changing about that schema. Oh, and the fact that it was an account ID instead of the user. All right, might be time to blow away the DB. Start fresh. So yeah, so let's just do that real quick. Oops. It's not the right terminal. There we go. So drop the database. And then we will just make sure there's no other little changes I want to make. Room session. I think this will probably end up changing, I'm guessing. This will change. Yeah, I think I want to actually hang all of this stuff off of the guests who are in the room, the chat that's going on. I want to associate that all to a room session, but we're not there yet. So for now, just keep blowing away and setting stuff back up again. I don't feel like refactoring the schema just right now, but Well, let's get this tested first. Oh wait, what's this error? It's happening. Oh, it's complaining about the yeah, because I blew away that database. So let's get that back. NX run Prisma schema migrate. Is that what it is? Oh, Prisma client. Oh, I had to have two NX runs there. Oh, that's right. Kind of do it a sloppy style. Wait, it's not up and running? Can't reach database. That's weird. Mm-hmm. Right, that should fix it. Right. All right. So back in action. All right. I guess I'm gonna have to go re-auth again. So come back over here. If I refresh, yeah, it should make me re-auth. So I'm authenticated. And then when I go to here, I can just do jam sessions. Slug will just be jam sessions. Make that actually some sort of auto-fill, auto-complete thing. Let's see if we're getting, well, close. I bet it's a header thing. Yeah, it's not adding. The client isn't set up to add the account header. So we'll add that real quick. Maybe it's just not getting the account ID from the user. Oh, sorry. I'm over here. Let's make sure I'm on the right thing. So yeah, so I basically just have this like simple client set up where it has some basic stuff. It's using cookies to manage the token and then also setting some account header stuff. I figured this would be getting set. But maybe the user isn't being associated to an account. Let's see. Let's see what's being passed in down here. See what we're getting for the client. User accounts, account external ID. So yeah, it should be there. Should be there. This user accounts account. Let me just double check that. Yeah. I guess really it should be right here as well. Yeah, it's not being set. The token is. Let me double check the provider. Maybe I'm just not passing it in there. Oh, I see. That's if I want to override it though. It should default to the user. Oh, that's probably the problem. Why wouldn't this be written? Oh, toy. That should be this account, right? Why was that set to this underscore account ID? I must have had something in kind of pulled over this client quick from starter packs. I probably had something else that was actually going in and then doing setting the account ID when like via something in the header, even though that's not there yet. I'm guessing that was what's going on. So let's see here. Oh, this account. It's not coming up. It should only get initialized once. Oh, is the user not coming in? Oh no, this is the user. Accounts. Array. External ID. This doesn't like accidentally no, it should just return undefined. This should be right. What am I doing wrong? That time I didn't even get anything. Let me go back out to the app, see what's going on out there. That's just pulling it off of the user. Pretty simple provider. Essentially, if it gets a ref, so it should get the user. And then if it doesn't have a client, it'll create a client, which is what we're just looking at. Accounts. Oh. Is that it? Yeah, it might not have been wrapped in that additional. Yeah, there we go. Cannot read properties of undefined. I think the structure of that response changed a little bit to where, which is why this was underscore account ID. Yeah. So basically my account thing was a little off. Although wait. There we go. Okay, so we got jam sessions. We have jam sessions. Let's check out the network tab real quick. Make sure that we're at least getting the All right, so there's got to be one last thing missing in the account header stuff. Let's see. Where is it missing? Where is it missing? Or is this just a weird condition where it's like not in the... And we have the cookie. Let's see again. We're not getting that header. We're getting the authorization header. We're not getting that skylounge header. Yeah, this is basically just a glorified Axios wrapper for the most part. I don't know why this is not working. I just check out the headers. When in doubt, log it out. See it there. Oh, is this something on the API side? So the JWT strategy? No. Let's go to the auth. The auth stuff. Actually, regardless, that if the headers are there, and they're being set here. I mean, unless the post method is not using this Axios, but it is. It's just getting path and data, so it should be in that request. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Duh. All right, so it's something else. What are we seeing down here in the logs? Oh, yeah. Cannot read properties of undefined account. That's probably that same thing. So if we do the rooms controller, account with member account, skylounge account, request users, accounts, find. Room module service. Yeah, there we go. I'll have to see why I ended up doing that double account thing on the Sky, or on the not Sky, on the starter packs one. All right, so that should actually fix it, I think. No, something else. Reading ID. Oh, do I have the that's what it is. I don't think I have the strategy implemented in the app module yet. Let me check out the auth module real quick, just to make sure. So I have the one, I don't think I have the strategies configured. I'm have to cheat a little bit and go pull up the starter pack stuff. And then I'm going to immediately close the cursor window because I know I'm going to end up getting stuck over there. And y'all are going to be looking at starter packs code instead of Skylounge stuff. But let's see here. Oh, that's just the app filter stuff. On the providers. Get the auth module real quick. I think I have everything set up. But yeah, so let's see here. Oh, yeah, so you actually are looking at starter packs code right here. I mean, that's basically that. GWT module, passport module. Yeah, I guess I don't have the guard set up. It's under the providers. Although that's in the main app module, not in the auth module. Although all this really should do is really move that up there. Be sure you're looking at this. I guess that's doing the account check. Let's see here. Yeah, it still doesn't like it. Canary property of undefined. So it's that account's not coming through. But actually, you know what? This isn't even supposed to be. This is host ID, right? Yeah. And then we just remapped it to accounts. So that's actually host ID. But I guess we'll see what we're getting. Account member with account. Oh, I see. User accounts. And actually, it's assuming that's getting the account member off of it and then associating the account to it. So, I mean, this really, I probably should have, say, account member. And this would be account member. That'd be account member.account.id. So basically, yeah, it gets the user, it gets the accounts, it includes that, it gets the memberships, account, includes connections. This is one of those things where I probably just forgetting something stupid. Let me go back to the scheme over here. Yeah, we have account, members. The user has accounts and memberships. User dot undefined. I guess I could just log what I'm actually getting for account member there. It might just not be defined for some reason. Let's go back here, set this off, get a 500. Read properties of undefined external ID. Something else. All right. Current account decorator, maybe. It's got to be a reason I did that. So yeah, this might be it. Let's see. No, now it's just straight up network error. Let me restart it. Cool. So yeah, sorry, this is kind of got a little derailed here with some of this auth stuff. I guess I haven't been this is what you get when you're just kind of doing it live. Basically the only thing I really kind of validated was the fact that I had the Bluesky auth working, but some of this other internal stuff that I have going on here, I haven't really had a chance to fully vet out yet. But I guess that's what we're doing here live. So sorry if it's a little slow. I cannot read property of undefined .id. So that actually sounds like, yeah. Actually, this is probably just account. Because whatever I have set up over in, and this should be probably coming from not API Prisma, but Prisma. Oops. It's coming from the Prisma client. Guess I'll dig into what's actually going on with oops. Don't need you right now. I guess, yeah, maybe I should have asked, maybe I should ask the AI. What am I doing wrong? Okay. So is it going to rebuild or no? There we go. Back up and running. All right. All right, room created. So let's update this rooms page. To actually use a query to then return these. We're still going to blow in the avatar, but we will create a little use rooms hook down here. Probably like a use rooms and a use room, but yeah. So yeah, it'll use the Skylounge client and actually no, it's from hooks. And basically just return that query for us. At some point we'll change it to like use an infinite query and paging and all that kind of stuff, but for now this will work. And I got to export that out real quick. Oops. Sorry. All right, we're back at code. You're seeing this? Yes. So yeah, just set up this use room. Quick little hook. And actually, yeah, this is probably what I'll end up doing is creating like a use create room and abstracting some of that stuff so we don't have all that set up everywhere. But we got that. We're going to grab this from do that, and then we'll render these cards based off that. That's not going to be as impressive as actually this is just going to come. We'll just end it for now, but we will set some types on that stuff. I guess we actually probably should pass in, for now I'm just going to pass in the whole room as like a room prop. So we'll put the room card and we'll render the room name and the room description. And then I guess maybe we'll have we'll definitely need the URL and stuff for, or the slug for some other stuff. But for now, we need to create the endpoint under the rooms controller to get the rooms. This is going to be a public. So public get rooms. So to go to the room service. Oops. Make sure that the API rebuilds okay. Oh, we're still getting a 404. Wait, what's rooms? Client.get/rooms. Yeah, use Skylounge, use rooms. What else does it need? Oh, no, it should just be get. I see it's registered right there. Or for not found. Or for no content. Oh, well, we're getting closer. Guess let's comment this out and see what we're actually getting back for that data. Oh, it's gonna be, I know what it is. Toy. So in the rooms, I actually need to do the then res data. Man, if anyone wants a tune, if you're not listening to the Spotify playlist, at least look up this band that's on the screen right now, because every time I hear this song, it's just so good. Sorry, it's gonna make me make my chair. It's gonna make my chair squeak because I'm just gonna be jamming to this song. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. So yeah, I think this should fix it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. All right, cool. So we have our card. We should probably also have it to when we create a new room, we'll refetch this. So maybe on this modal, we'll also have an on success, and we'll have a handle create room success. And then we'll refetch the query, and then we'll go to our create room modal. And you know what? Maybe we won't have all this stuff. Maybe we'll make it a little bit more controlled, where we just fire the on success, remove some of my logs. We'll fire the on success. We will use that. And then we'll actually deal with the hiding of the modal on the success, I guess. For now, I guess we'll get rid of this. We don't need that. Oh, sorry. I should have had you over here in code. Basically, what did I do? I create room modal, just added this on success handler, have it call here, and then I'm just going to have the handle create room success, initiate a refetch, and hide the modal. And then that way we'll get new rooms as we add them real quick. So assuming this is all working right, let's say I could do another one for Sky Lounge. Come and chill in the lounge. Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. We'll reset that form to success. So pretty sure there's a thing to do that within React Hook form, right? Probably move this up a peg. Is there a reset? Yeah. Let's get rid of some of those logs I was throwing out everywhere. Sorry for that trip down debug lane there. Throwing so much logs. That's like actually I even knew when I was setting that up in starter packs. I knew that whole kind of like the naming on that just needs to be updated. It's like kind of confusing. The fact that like a member would, like an account would be nested under a member, but it's referenced as account. It's just, yeah, there's some awkwardness there, and I need to address it. But where else do we got consoles going on over here? We got one in the controller. Definitely don't need that. I think all the other ones are actually not my problem, which is good. All right, cool. So we got that. Our client seems to be kind of wired up a little bit better now. We have our rooms controller, which is doing our core basic things now. We're at least able to create a room and get rooms. And then, yeah, we're going to keep adding on to that too. So probably going to have to start digging into the schema a little bit more. I'm going to do that refactor where more things are hung off of a session to a room. It's like a question for the crowd. All 80 y'all. Do any of you actually use like Twitter Spaces, or have you used Clubhouse, or are you podcast listeners? Kind of curious, just general vibes, feels. Anyone doing that kind of stuff? Feel free to throw something in the chat if you want. Yeah, there's just something like internally that's pulling me to work on this. I'm hoping it's going to be fun and a fun thing to use, but at the same time, I guess there is like a little bit of maybe a slight pit of apprehension about investing too much time into this, but I think it's just going to be fun. I also think if I can really build it open, I think it'll be slightly different than like the isolated experience and the kind of like disjointed experience that you get with Twitter Spaces, where it's like, or even like the Twitter stream right now. It's like you can only get to the chat within the Twitter like iOS like mobile app. I was trying to actually just access it on my iPad yesterday because for whatever reason the Twitter app was having issues yesterday. Thankfully, it did fix itself today. And I think I'll always refer to it as Twitter. I don't know if I could be really an X guy. But yeah, it's like I was just like gonna try to like post like a quick thing from the iPad app, and I couldn't do it because their experience is a little jointed or disjointed. So yeah, so we got this. We could do like a starter packs room if we want to do it wild. Cool. So yeah, I guess, you know what, while I'm doing it, let's just at least like link up these cards so that way we can get to them. So yeah, this is going to require me to bring over some stuff from the base. Actually, is this font? Maybe I'll make that font a little bit bigger. I have like some of these base components living up here in the site, really just this link. So I'll migrate this down to the UI package so I can use it within these components. And add our index for that. So the reason why I end up having this link thing is so that way I can compose both the Chakra link and the next link in this one link component and have a single place to basically have this kind of coupling of the UI and the router all in one spot. So if I ever want to change it, if I wanted to use like React router, I basically just have to update this one link to do some different stuff, and then it just gets referenced everywhere. So if anyone's curious why I have that structured the way that is, and actually I'm not sure if this link's being used anywhere, just because it's just a. I guess I have this temporary profile menu that's not really implemented yet, but well, that'll be easy enough. I just need to add the base to this one, and then we can get this updated. Oops. It looked like you knew what you wanted. There we go. So yeah, oh, here's some legacy stuff. Well, not really legacy, but some copy paste slop that I brought over. Yeah, this isn't being used yet. It's just some stuff I was going to pull over when I was testing the Bluesky connection. So we have this now. Now we can go in here and I guess do a link overlay or a link box. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe I should do that. I'll do a link box here as card. Is that going to work? And then the link overlay, I guess I'll do the header description thing. And it's not going to be the room ID, it's going to be the room slug. And this will be a link box. Not sure if this is going to keep the styling on it or not. All right, so now we just need to update the room page to actually request the room that it needs. So yeah, so we'll start with the jam sessions room. Not like it's specific to that room, but so for this, I think I'm actually just going to compose it down here and actually do server-side rendering for it. And let me just double check this. So profile/slug. Just grab this signature up here real quick. So with the way that code mode. So yeah, with the way that next props works, it basically accumulates these props and then has a next method that you can kind of keep calling to keep the chain going. So for instance, here we're just going to do a little try catch, and we're going to request the room. I guess we'll have to actually create the client too. And the client will be a what are we making over here? What are we taking? API URL. And actually that's going to be const access token off of props.props, which is the one weird thing with this, but it's not really a my weird thing. It's and then we also grab the user. And then we're gonna import this from there. And then we're gonna initiate the request here. And we're not gonna return. But we are gonna, if we don't get a room, so actually we need to do the let room null. We'll set the room to the room. If we don't have a room, or if we catch, we'll want to return not found. Actually, no, that one we do want to return error. This one, if not room, we'd want to return not found and exit the whole, basically exit this loop early, even though it only really consists of these two methods, the with auth and then the not. So we don't have that route set up yet. And actually this should be a next in the event that there was something else following this. In the future, I think this is one of those things I'd end up refactoring into a real simple closure around this. So essentially it'd probably be like with skylounge props, and then you could specify basically like the path, and you could compose that based off of the params and have a little thing that you do to be able to kind of dynamically structure this string and pass it in, and then define the prop like key name. But for now, we'll just do it in line. And then I guess we need to actually go to our rooms controller and set up that route to actually get a room. Oops. Okay. Make sure that wired up okay. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it goes. Just took an extra save. And actually, in this scenario, we're not going to need the we're not going to do the client-side request, so we're not going to do the use room. But I think in the future, I will create the use room. The use room thing here. But for now, this will actually get changed to the room name. That's room description. And then, is that going to work? Room host name? We'll see. It might error on that room host name thing. Room headers returned from get server side props. Oh, I know what I need to do. Yeah, it's not going to like that name thing, I don't think. For now, we'll just move back to John Doe, which was a cursor supplied thing. So yeah, so cool. Now we have this. Let me just, I'm going to add a quick, I'm a sucker for a breadcrumb. So just going to, and then this is current page. So yeah, you should see a breadcrumb pop in there. Let's do a little empty, what do you think, like a sixer? How's that looking? Cool. So yeah, you're not going to go back there. Have to adjust the client stuff, but at least we're getting some navigating around. Oh, the link overlay. I think I need to actually set that up to be a as link. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's right. Room card is actually. Wait, isn't room card in the UI? Oh, I get, yeah. So it should just go up a couple levels, go to base. My bad. Oh, sorry. All right, cool. So let's make sure that that's working. Basically, I just want to make sure that if you look up, oh, sorry, take it back here. If you look up here at the header, we're going to want to make sure that was actually kind of getting somehow reset to a connect, actually because of this link, I guess. Actually, let me just test my suspicion of, did I need to make this a link or no? Was link overlay doing it or not doing it? Maybe I was just actually clicking that. Yeah, I did need to make that link. So yeah, that's some of the, and actually I'm going to make this it's just a common thing I end up doing is using these link overlays. I'm just going to make that a component. And actually, it's not a Chakra link. It is a Chakra link overlay. And then that way I don't have to sit there and sprinkle in those as link stuff. So that's actually not in the slug. It's on the root card. And I can remove this prop. All right. So, it doesn't like that just because I'm not exporting it. Right? Link overlay, export link overlay. We got a link overlay, got a link overlay. Oh, conflicting link overlays. There we go. All right, cool. So now we got our stuff going. That's breaking. We'll fix that. But yeah, All right. I think this is cool. So we got some basic room creation going. Next up is going to be really updating the interactivity of this. So what does it mean if you're the room host versus a speaker versus a guest? I mean, obviously a guest doesn't really have too much stuff. I already kind of roughed out the design of this kind of chat drawer thing over here. I'm not 100% sure if this is how it's going to end up working. But for now, it's kind of just roughed in there. Here, I'll pop that in over here so you can actually see it a little bit better. Definitely not styled, just kind of, what does this thing even look like? Popping in on the side. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I might jump on a stream tonight again, just to kind of keep digging at this thing. So if you're around later, probably won't be till like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I want to try to start getting this in here. I am basically archiving these streams over on YouTube. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can do that at Ryan_Hefner. Thinking about changing that handle to like at Ryan Hefner Live or something, just because I can't get the underscores bugging me out. I'm Ryan Hefner and like everything else. But yeah, hopefully this has been fun. Yeah, you're basically watching the evolution of Skylounge, and hopefully it's a service or thing that you'll all be into using. So I'm going to leave it there. You can sign up for get on the mailing list at skylounge.social. You can check out starter packs where some of this code originated from, and obviously I carried over from that project, but at the same time carrying it over threw me through some confusion loops. But we got through those, and yeah, we'll just keep digging at this thing. I think the interesting thing that's going to happen is once we start getting into some of the host stuff, some of the WebRTC stuff, some of the socket server stuff, as far as like what gets sent socket server wise versus potentially like over the WebRTC channels. Yeah, all fun stuff. And then also how do you make it to where you can basically be in this chat, but also like exploring the site and exploring profiles and following people and doing all this fun stuff while still being engaged. So that's that. I'm going to leave you on a little okay computer banger. And hopefully you'll come and hang out the next time I do this. So, all right, I'm Ryan Hefner. This has been a jam session solo edition, and hopefully catch you on the next one. All right.